Tonight, 2 games from the first month of the 1964-65 season as the Toronto Maple Leafs first entertain the New York Rangers on October 24th, and then the Chicago Blackhawks on the 31st of October, 1964. This is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. The Rangers are led by Rod Gilbert and former Leaf Bob Nevin, while the Maple Leafs have former Rangers Andy Bathgate and Don McKenney, along with Hall of Famer Bob Pulford. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Joe Bowen, and welcome to another edition of Classic Leaf Games, brought to you by Molson Canadian right here on Leafs TV. The Leafs are opening the season riding the crest of 3 consecutive Stanley Cup championships. Punch Imlach, the coach and general manager, has a veteran team with just enough youth sprinkled in the lineup to once again make them possibly a preseason favorite to make it 4 in a row. The Broadway Blue Shirts, meanwhile, have missed the playoffs for the previous 2 years. They are in a rebuilding phase and are hoping to make it to the postseason for the first time in a while. The ringmasters of the Rope Restaurants tonight are Marcel Paillet of the New York Rangers, and for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's veteran Johnny Bauer. Because it's October 24th, 1964, the Leafs and Rangers, and this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. Youngster Rod Gilbert is about to blossom on the NHL scene, as is Jean Rattel in the lineup for the New York Rangers tonight. The Maple Leafs have veterans Bob Pulford, Frank Mahovlich, and Tim Horton. Ron Ellis, a Lindsay, Ontario native, spent his junior career as a Toronto Marlboro, winning the Memorial Cup in 1964, which was also the year he played in 1 game for the Maple Leafs. Ellis would play his entire career in a Leaf uniform, amassing 1,034 games, scoring 332 goals, and totaling 640 points. Ellis played in 4 All-Star games and was a member of the Leafs Stanley Cup winning team in 1967. And he joins us today to go back to a couple of games in October of 1964, your first full season in the National Hockey League. Ron, good to see you again, and thanks for joining us. You play 1 game, you come up from the Marlboros, how old? 18?
18 years old.
So now you're 19, and you're like Scott Young's book, a boy at the Leaf camp. And so here comes the little Lindsay, Ontario little boy into, was it in Peterborough?
Yes.
All right,
definitely.
so you're up in Peterborough. Did you have any inkling that you would make this team as opposed to maybe, I guess you still had junior eligibility?
I had another year left. And Punch, when we started talking about a pro contract, he thought it would be better for me, even if I didn't play a lot, to be with the Leafs and get some experience of what goes on there instead of playing my last year of A-hockey. And so after a lot of discussion as to whether I was going to accept a scholarship or turn pro, very tough thing to do when you're 18 years old. Those are big decisions, and finally decided that, well, I have this dream. I'm going to try the pro route, and I'll go to school in the off season. That was my compromise. And I remember before I played that first game, Joe, the year before, I had to have a signed contract. So I had signed my contract then for my first year in the National Hockey League. Pete Stemkowski did the same thing. Now, the only good thing I did, I wasn't very concerned about the bonuses or anything else. I wanted to get a clause in there that I couldn't be sent to the minors my first year. I wanted a chance to stay and just see how I fit into the environment. And so I was pleased with that. And
so they couldn't send you down?
They couldn't send me down the first year according to my contract.
You know, you should have stopped right there, got out of playing, and immediately started as an agent, because I don't think many people got that kind of way with Imlach, did they?
No, that was rare. That was rare, but certainly the second. Well, but he knew that if I didn't develop for him quickly enough to play on a regular basis, that I could sit on the bench and kill penalties and a few things, and he'd bring me along slowly. But fortunately for me, they paired me up with Frank Mahovlich and Andy Bathgate for the first month or so, and we played well together. And
23 goals.
I just followed those 2 guys around. They just told me what to do and where to go. It was great.
Now, you told me a funny story. You did have a bonus for goal scoring, though.
It's right. I mean, it is amazing when you look back at the old and I kept my first contract, and but there was a goal-scoring bonus for 30 goals. If I had scored 30 goals, I would have got another $1,000.
Wow!
Now, the problem with that is there hadn't been a Maple Leaf that had scored 30 goals for about 10 years. So it was a pretty safe bonus on Punch's start. But I didn't, as I said, I didn't really care about the bonuses or what was there. I wanted a chance to play. and not be sent down that.
Now, you walk into the training camp in Peterborough, and there's Pulford, and there's Armstrong, Bauer, and all of these guys, and they're sitting there wafting away in the glory of 3 consecutive Stanley Cups, and in comes 19-year-old little Ron Ellis saying, "Oh boy."
Yeah, it was very. Well, it was a dream. It was a dream to walk into that training camp, and fortunately, there were a number of us that went together from the Marley team. Pete Stamkowski, Wayne Carlton, Rod Sealing. We all sort of went in the same time to training camp, so I had a little support there. But, you know, the strength we had, for Peter, you know, we had with Kelly and Pulford and Keon and Harris, where was Peter going to play right away? Fortunately for me, and timing is everything, and I really believe that. Fortunately for me, they had made a move with Bob Nevin, and that gave me a little spot. And that's the reason I was able to stick.
All right. Well, we're going to take you back to a couple of games in October, early in the Leafs season, and the first one will be against the New York Rangers, who have come to Maple Leaf Gardens for an early season matchup with the Maple Leafs. And you're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. 1-1 tie, the Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers at the end of the second period. Ron Ellis has scored his second National Hockey League goal on this date. Why not go back and find out how he scored his very first goal? Let's do that now.
Bauer out of the nets to Bond. It's cleared out. Ellis races after it. He and Mahaglis, one man back, going in together. Ellis shoots, goal! Ellis gets his first NHL goal.
Okay, you play your first game the year before, you go to your first Leaf training camp, well, not your first Leaf training camp, but you make the team, you pull the jersey on as a regular, and now you have your very first goal. I mean, do you still have the puck, Ronnie?
Yes, I
definitely
do. The Leafs were kind enough to put it in a little trophy for me. As a matter of fact, it was the late Carl Brewer that dove into the net to get my puck. I just saw that in a clip not too long ago. It was my first game with the Leafs at the Gardens. As a full member of the team. And we're playing Boston Bruins, and I was able to get a shot off from the top of the circle where I like to shoot quite often, being a right winger, and beat Eddie Johnson. And so it was a big night.
I guess it would be. And I mean, you think about proud moments and everything else. And I mean, just to get there is a big part. And we know so many people who have not. I work with one, Jim Ralph, who just dreams about that. Well, I did too. But to get the goal and then to realize, okay, hey, I can score in this league too. And you're away to the races from that point on, aren't you?
I got off to a very good start that year, and I think I had 5 goals in 8 or 9 games, so it was a good way to start.
All right, well, we're going to go to third period action now. The Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers are tied 1-1.
My special guest in the gong tonight is sports writer Red Burnett of the Toronto Star. And Red, I think we had a real good clarification of those rules.
I think so, an excellent one, and that was the reason that I haven't been bouncing at the officials prior to this.
All set to go, and it's Nevin bumping into Brewer. It's a 1-1 tie in this final period. Ice is very fast at the Gardens tonight. Brewer and Vaughn on the defense. Ellis and Bathgate with Pulford in the penalty box with Brown. They both have 1 minute and 3 seconds left in their penalty. And it's Ellis now with Bathgate, who takes the pass. A pass for Ellis, and he goes down. Ingerfield coming back for the Rangers. A pass to Howell. Howell and Nevin over the line. Nevin getting in on the right wing. He's dumped by Bathgate and goes sliding into the board. Now Andy Bathgate coming up the center. Here's his long shot. Oh, Poirier's length out the other side. Bathgate centered it right in front. Vaughn getting set with his shot. Howell knocks it down. It comes back to Brewer. There's Brewer's shot, and that hit Poirier's stick. Goes to the far side. Behind the Ranger goal, then Johns to Ingerfield. Up to Nevin. Off his stick down the ice. Brewer going back for it. It's over the red line. Brewer touches it. Icing is called against New York. And we played 1 minute and 17 seconds of the final period, a 1-1 tie, and 7 seconds left in the penalties to Brown and Fulford. Now, the New York Rangers certainly had a decided advantage in that second period, outshooting the Leafs 13-6. The Leafs outshot New York in the first period 10-8. Ellis from McKinney and Mahavliks 9:25 of the first period, and Gilbert from Henry and Goyette 12:19 of the second period have been the scoring plays. Horton to Armstrong. Back to Horton. Horton lets his shot go. That was high. Keon moves up. He overskates it. Goyette, number 20. A long pass to Henry. He shoots it into the Leaf zone, and it's Stanley going back. Stanley to Armstrong. Up for Stanley. And it was too far for him. Now then, Nielsen hands it to Armstrong of the Leafs, who comes in. There's his shot, and it was stopped by Nielsen. Comes up the center ice to Henry. Henry and Gilbert over the line together. Henry centered it right in front, and Stanley breaks it up. Stanley. Up to Armstrong. For McKinney. He's in the clear, and he couldn't control it, but it was outside anyway. Keon was in ahead of him. And we're at the 2:13 mark of the final period, a 1-1 tie. John McKinney to Tim Horton. Horton at center with Keon over the line. A pass for Keon, too far. Keon didn't see it, although he had it. Mickle bringing it out now for the Rangers with a pass that hit Hatfield's skate. But Keon brings it back. Keon takes his shot. Paillet stopped it. Armstrong missed it. Armstrong went over Paillet. Here's Horton letting it go to Armstrong, to Keon. It's still in there. He's trying to get it back to McKinney. Keon has it right in front of McKinney, and he's knocked off stride by Jimmy Nielsen. Horton going back for it. A pass for Stewart, intercepted by Ernie Brown. Horton then gets a hold of it. Up to Fulford. Fulford and McKinney going in together, and the pass was behind McKinney. Rangers now bringing it back. And Gotti at center, over the Leaf line. A pass to Mickle. There's the shot, and that's wide. Brown trying to keep it in. Fulford after it, and Gotti comes up with it. Over to Mickle, number 12. To Hatfield. Ridden off by Horton. It's against the boards, no further play. And we played 3 minutes and 31 seconds of the final period.
Now we'll have a chance to look at the face-off as described by Mr. Clarence Campbell. It looks as if the referee was wrong in a couple of instances last Saturday night, and this caused Hayward. Back to the rules as explained by the president are very simple and are good.
All ready to go. It comes back to Nevin. He fanned on his first try. He gets another one, and that was weak. Brewer shooting it behind the net. Ron Stewart in the corner. A pass to Fulford. Fulford and Eddie Shack. Eddie Shack takes the pass over the line, and he shot it high into the crowd. Now here's Shack from the face-off again, trying to pass it to Fulford. Shack gets it loose to Fulford. Fulford to Shack, and he couldn't get moved. He's cleared by the Rangers, back into the Leaf zone, and Bond is going back to touch it, and that'll be icing against New York again. And the face-off comes back to the right of Marcel Paillet. And Red, it was nice to see Johnny Wilson in town again.
It certainly was. Johnny is looking as trim as when he played in the league for the Detroit, the Leafs, and Rangers. He's coaching Ottawa Montagnards, a senior team, and doing very well.
All set to go for the face-off. Fulford facing off with Ingerfield, who got the draw. Nevin is then given a bump by Shack. Ingerfield, number 10, picking it up. To Howell, number 3. Howell, Ingerfield. Bumped by Brewer. Brewer tried to keep it in. Howell brings it out. Stopped by Brewer. Then Shack gets loose on the left wing. Over the Ranger line. Back to Stewart. And Stewart couldn't control it. Brown shooting it around on the boards. To Duff. To Brown. Back to Ingerfield. Shooting it into the Leaf zone. It comes right in front. Shack knocking it off to the side. A pass for Pulford. Pulford is checked by Bob Nevin. And Stewart with Eddie Shack over the line, and Stewart is checked. Nevin is checked by Brewer. Steeling getting it to center. There's Shack again, shooting it over the line. And Pulford tries to take it away from Steeling, who had him well covered. And Duff misses Papin with a body check, and Nielsen gets a hold of it. Jimmy Nielsen, he's hit by Shack. Brewer to Baughan. Shooting it off Nielsen's stick, down the ice into the Ranger zone. Rod Steeling back. Steeling coming up the ice. A pass ahead for Goyette. Over the Leaf line, stopped by Billy Harris. Harris to Kelly. Kelly shooting it into the Ranger zone. Paille knocking it to the corner. Gilbert stopped by Harris and Kelly. Kelly got it right in front. It comes back to Horton. Here comes the shot. That was stopped by Paille, and it's cleared out. There's going to be a penalty here to the New York Rangers. Jimmy Nielsen, number 15. Coming to the penalty box. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Have an interference to Jimmy Nielsen. The Leafs have the odd man. 6 men to 5, and it's Kelly, Keon, Dickie Moore, number 16, Andy Bathgate, 9, and Kent Douglas, number 19. Marshall with Mickle, and Marshall shoots it down the ice. Don Johns, number 6, Harry Howell, number 3. Douglas back for it. We're at the 6:09 mark of this final period. A 1-1 tie. Keon shooting the puck into the Ranger zone. Paille stopped it behind the net. Keon stole it to Moore. Back to Douglas. Douglas tried to set up Keon, and he waited too long, and it was shot down the ice. Bathgate back to Kelly. Kelly, Moore, and Keon over the line together. A pass to Dickie Moore. He shoots. Corner. Bathgate to Douglas, and it went out over the blue line. Back to Keon. To Douglas, too far. Douglas turns. Back to Bathgate. Up to Keon. Over the line to Bathgate. Centered it right in front. Cleared by Jimmy Mickle down the ice, and it's Kelly going back for it. And there's 51 seconds left in Jimmy Nielsen's penalty. Kelly leading the rush. Up to center. Over the line with Moore, and it's offside.
Our old friend Larry Regan has been working out with Johnny Wilson's team in Ottawa. He's going back to Austria as a playing coach.
All ready to go for that face-off in the circle in the Ranger zone. And it's Mahavlich, McKinney, Armstrong, Stanley, and Horton. Right from the face-off, McKinney tried to get in front. Jimmy Mickle shoots it out to center and down. Horton touched it, so there'll be no icing on the play. Horton back for it. He turns, and Gotti is out there with Hadfield and Mickle for the Rangers. Horton to Mahavlich, shooting it into the Ranger zone. Jimmy Nielsen there for it, clearing it around on the boards. Shot down to center. Martin pass it right to Nielsen of the Rangers. He's over the line. There's his shot. That's wide. Mickle trying to center it. Stanley lost it, and Gotti got his drive right on. Stanley to McKinney. Now McKinney after it. Stanley gets it to the blue line, but not out. McKinney with Mahavlich. Frank Mahavlich at center. Over the Ranger line, he's checked, and then Gotti's coming back down the ice for New York. A pass, stopped by Eddie Shack. He's got a break. Racing down the ice. Going over the line. Right in on goal. Aye made the save. Armstrong took a shot. And that was left in front. Back for the Rangers. A three-man break. Sealing to Mickle. Over the blue line. With Gotti. There's the shot. That's wide. It's still in the Leaf zone. Stanley to Armstrong. And Mahamlich and Horton. And they poke it out to center. Now it's Arnie Brown's shot. That was stopped, and Frank Mahavlich has it. Frank Mahavlich to Eddie Shack. To Ron Stewart, over the line. Stewart trying to cut in, took a shot. Behind the net, Rod Gilbert, a pass to Henry. Up to center. He flips it in. Bauer stopping it. Poking it to the corner. Straight around on this wing to Shack. Shack, Pulford, and Stewart. Pass to Pulford. Takes a long shot. That bounces out in front. Arnie Brown clears it around on the boards. Vaughn moves up. A pass to Pulford. He centered it out in front, and it comes over to Rod Gilbert, and Shack was there. And Goya took it away from him. Gilbert missing a check from Stanley, and Pulford goes back into his own zone. Henry after it. Pulford couldn't get out. Here's Goyette after it. He shot it around into the corner. Eddie Shack. To Pulford. To Ron Stewart off the board. Stewart closing in. There's the shot, and that's wide. Laid back to center. 9 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. It's shot back into the Ranger zone. Harry Howell there for it. A pass to Duff. Gets away from Jim Pappen. He's lost his glove. He stick handles right by. It's right in front of shot. Oh! Boyette just failed to find the corner on a great play by Dick Duff. Eddie Shack. Getting away from three Ranger players. Straight up at center. Over the line. There's the shot. That's wide. He goes after it. Gilbert passing it behind the net. Arnie Brown goes by Pappen. Missed the check from Shack. Cleared into the Leaf zone. And it's by Pulford. At his own blue line to center. Over the line with Kelly. He tried to go all the way, and he was too well covered by Sealing. Clearing pass to Duff. Duff trying to break away. Coming down the ice. Kelly has him covered. Kelly to Pulford. Shot down the ice. There's a race for it. Kaye comes out of the net and whacks it out to center ice to Nielsen. Shot back into the Leaf zone. Bob Vaughn. Shooting it around on the boards for Pappen. To Billy Harris. Harris and Kelly and Pappen over the line. Kelly couldn't get a pass as Harris was directed to the corner. It comes back to the blue line. Vaughn trying to keep it in. Two Ranger players are holding it there. Ingerfield getting it to Nielsen, who wraps it out over the blue line to center. Carl Brewer to Billy Harris. Harris turns again. This time he's over the Ranger line. Still has it. Closing in. And he couldn't make his play. It's cleared out for Gotti. Brewer's there. Brewer to Pappen. Pappen tried to get it out. Nevin keeps it in. Vaughn now trying to bring it up. Too well covered. Gets it over the line. Harris is hit by Sealing. Played to Jimmy Mickle. It's played back into the Leaf zone. Horton going after it. He touches it. Icing is called against New York. Ferguson has scored from Cournoyer and Russo at 15-11. It's 1-1 at Montreal. 6 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play in the game. set for the faceoff. Bathgate after it. He gets it to Mahavlich, back to Bathgate. A shot. That was stopped by Paye. Now there's going to be a penalty here. Flashing. I believe Bathgate will get one too. Brown is coming to the penalty box. Brown and Bathgate off together. That evens them up at 5 aside.
New York penalty, number 4, Brown. 2 minutes for sliding. Toronto penalty to number 9, Bathgate. 2 minutes for slashing. The time, 13:28.
This is where Leafs have been having trouble all season. When they get down to 5 aside, they don't seem to be able to take advantage of it and get trapped into defensive mistakes.
And from the face-off, the Rangers cleared around on the boards. Rod Gilbert stopped by Mahavlich. He's checked. Gilbert brings it out at his own blue line. Up the center. A pass over the line offside to Goyette. 6 minutes and 19 seconds remaining to play in the game. Ellis from McKinney and Mahavlich, 9:25 of the first period. Gilbert from Henry and Goyette at 12:19 of the second period have been the only scoring plays. Rod Gilbert took a long shot. That was wide. Howell moves up. Now we had a fencing duel here between Gilbert and Douglas, and that could mean penalties. They were fencing with one another. Sticks.
Referee Frank at being very wise. He's not going to let this game get out of hand at all.
New York penalty to number 7, Gilbert. 2 minutes for high sticking. Toronto penalty to number 19, Douglas. 2 minutes for high sticking. The time, 13:49.
13:49 is the time of the high sticking penalties to Gilbert and Douglas. And now it's Horton. Teams are even, 4 aside, to Dave Keon. Over the line, closing right in on goal. Paye snaps it, Horton shoots. Oh, he shot it over top of the net with Paye lying down. Comes back to Stanley, a shot, right in front for Horton. Horton goes after it. Sealing is shoved out of the play. Keon back to Stanley, and it hopped over his glove. He flicks it to an open wing, goes after it. To Keon. Keon closes in, he took his shot, and that was wide. Keon trying to get it loose. Passes it back, and Stanley was not there. Now Stanley again to Keon. Over the line. There's the shot. That hit Sealing. Nielsen a pass to Rod Sealing. Back to Nielsen again. Keon replaced by Kelly. Goes back into the lead zone. Bauer stopping it, and Kelly's there. Now it's Red Kelly. Pass to Horton. Horton getting over the line, and it's offside.
Bob Nevin is doing a great job for Rangers in the defensive role tonight. They send him out when they're in trouble, and he's come up with a big play for them.
All set to go for the face-off outside the blue line. Bob Bond takes his shot. Paye steered it off to the side. Kelly and Johns, with Johns falling on top of the puck. Cleared back into the Leaf zone again. Carl Brewer going back for it. 4 minutes and 18 seconds as the Rangers are called for icing. All ready to go. It's cleared behind the Ranger goal, and it's Brown. Brown clearing it to Nevin. He's checked by Pulpert. Pulpert and Nevin go to the boards. Brewer lost it to Howell. Howell over the red line, shooting it in. Bauer stopping it, and Don McKinney is back. Now then, the Rangers are changing players on the go. Pulford stopped by Duff. Pulford gets it, and it's knocked out by Duff. Now then, Pulford is back. A pass on the right wing for Vaughn, up at center for Stewart. Pulford after it, and Ingerfield shoots it down into the lead zone again. And it's Brewer. Ahead to Pulford for Stewart. Knocks it the rest of the way into the Ranger zone, and back there for it is Nielsen to Nevin. Stopped by Brewer. Brewer trying to keep it in. It's cleared out, and Duff's got a break. One man back. Over the line. Duff takes his shot, and that hit Bauer. He didn't even see it. And went over the glass. And we have 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this hockey game.
You know, Bauer didn't see that one, but he cut the angle off perfectly, and it could be the big save of the game.
Goalkeepers have certainly been the difference tonight, Red.
They've been out of this world.
On the face-off, it comes back to Sealing. There's his shot. That caromed off Douglas. Ron Ellis after it. A pass for Bathgate. Broken up by Henry. Henry passes it in front, and Douglas has it. Up to Bathgate. He shoots it over the Ranger line. Ellis after it. He gets it loose. Goes behind the net. Bathgate tries to help him out. Goyette. Watched by Bathgate. Ellis shot it around on the boards. Douglas tried to keep it in. Rangers shoot it down the ice again. It's Horton back for it. 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Pass for Ellis. Broken up. The shot was wide. Rangers now with Gilbert. Keeping it in the lead zone. Douglas to Bathgate. He can't get away. Goyette to Henry. Henry closing in. Here's Gilbert's shot, and that's wide. Horton goes after it. Nielsen moves up. Here are the Rangers with Gilbert right in front of the net. A whack at it. It's cleared to the blue line and out to center. Nielsen shooting it over to the wing. Gilbert trying to get it in again. Bathgate for Mahavlich, and he couldn't get away. Now then, Douglas coming up to center. Over the line with Bathgate. Rangers break it up. Here's a three-man break. One man back. Here they go over the line. Lewandowski shoots. Oh, and Bauer got it. Clears it off to Bathgate. Bathgate down the right wing. Back to Douglas. Over to Mahavlich. Floating in on the left wing. Tried to center it. Still has it. It goes behind the net. Armstrong tries to get it loose. Hadfield comes up with it for the Rangers. Coming up to center. Over the blue line. Takes his shot. That's high. Armstrong and Vaughn. Vaughn down the right wing with 1 minute and 5 seconds. He hit Brown. Rangers cleared back out again. Brewer. Trying to go over the line. Howell breaks it up to Mickle. Goes back into the lead zone, and there's Keon, Dickie Moore, and George Armstrong. The three of them. Dickie Moore at center. Passes it over the line. It's knocked into the crowd. 40 seconds left.
I'd say the big plus for the Leafs tonight has been the play of Dickie Moore. He's moving, striding.
All set for the face-off outside the blue line. Knocked high into the crowd. Keon facing off with Ingerfield. That goes into the crowd. Keon, Moore, and Armstrong with Brewer and Bond. Goes back into the Lead zone. Brewer. A pass at center for Keon. Stopped there by Howell, and Bob Nevin has it. Interfering pass. Vaughn covers Ingerfield. Cleared out. Nevin picks it up for the Rangers. 12 seconds. Power to Vaughn. Vaughn failed to get it out. Brewer shoots it off the glass. Brewer ran into Brown, and there goes the bell. The game is over. And the final score of tonight's game is New York Rangers 1, Toronto Maple Leafs 1.